What's up, everybody? This is officially my first video. When I say video, I mean like commentating video. I'll be using a thumbnail, just telling a couple stories. I got a whole bunch of stories to tell by Crowne. But right now I'm just gonna start with a couple stories, recent stories. The first story that I'm telling basically is about a vacation that we went on in Savannah, Georgia. It's on the outside of Savannah, Georgia. It's called Tybee Island Beach. We went there on Labor weekend. So basically, I took the family out there, me, my wife, and my kids. So, I got 3 kids and my son-in-law, my grandkids. I'm in my 40s, we started early, so I got grandkids. But, so we go to the beach, kick it, and everything. And we decide to go out that night because my boys, they wanted to go out. Wifey, my daughter, grandkids, they went back to the hotel room. So I took the boys out. I don't really go out, but, they wanted to go out, see the nightlife. Like I said, I don't be going out and stuff, but, I'm taking the boys out. And my son, it'd be his first time out. He just turned 21 not so long ago. So we end up going to a place that my son-in-law, he referred us to go to a certain place that he knew of because he's been there before because he went there on his anniversary. So he knew about basically where the club where most of the black people was going to be at, and we could listen to the certain genre that we listen to. And we went up to this place. It's like 3 stories. It's like 3 levels. On the first level, you got Mexicans. The second level is where most of the black people at. You got black people and white people. It's kind of diverse, but it's more black people on the second level. On the third level, they said it was a pool table up there and all that. I didn't even get a chance to check the third level out. I didn't even know it was a third level. So we there for like probably, less than an hour, kind of early, around between 10:30 and 11:30. And we had some of them frozen drinks earlier that day with the liquor in it. And I'm like, man, that stuff was making me feel funny. It was making my stomach hurt. And I'm like, man, I didn't know they had even a third floor. So I would have went to the third floor where they probably would have had some chairs. On the second floor, they had no chairs, not even at the bar. So I got me a drink. And then after that, I'm like, man, to me, the DJ was not good, but it was early on in the evening. So he wasn't playing no good, music. He was playing a lot of old music. But like I said, there was some white people there, too. A lot of white people there early on. So, they like to hear old rap music a lot of times. So he was playing a lot of old stuff. And I'm like, man, this is kind of lame. But later on, they said once it got busy, the DJ kind of turned up more. And you know how black people is, black people, they come out late. So when it start hitting like 12:30, 1 o'clock, it started getting real busy. But at that time, I told them it was around about probably between 11:30 and 12. I'm like, man, I'm going to the car, man. My stomach is kind of hurting. And I need to get some rest. I'm just going to go sit in the car. I ain't going to, force y'all to take no Uber home. But, saying I'll wait in the car for y'all. And when y'all ready, just let me know, and then we can bounce or whatever. So I go to the car, and I'll tell them before I go to the car, like, hey, keep eyes on my youngest son. I'm like, keep an eye on him because his first night out, I don't want nothing to happen to him. I'll tell both of my son-in-law that and my older son, one of my oldest son. And I'm like, really making sure they do that. Like, y'all got to make sure y'all, take care of him because, we stay worried about our youngest, because like I said, this is first time out. He's not like into that stuff. He's like almost like a bookworm, like, so he don't even really like rap music like that. And he's really not even, into hip hop like that, really. He listens to all type of music. But like this is how to tell you how he is. Like one time I go in there, I tell him like, can you search something for me? He pulled the computer up. He got his own computer and everything. He typing all fast and everything. I'm like, dang, this dude. One time he told me he was talking to a black girl and she tell him he's not hood enough. Like, that's how my son is. So, it is what it is, And I tell him don't worry about, nothing like that. If a girl gonna tell you you ain't hood enough, she ain't right for you. So, don't ever, don't worry about that, And it's funny because, a lot of black women get mad when they see these young guys like LeBron James' son with a white girl or a Hispanic girl, whatever. Is because usually the black girl will be saying they ain't hood enough. So if we keep our sons in good schools, like my son graduated from Ola here in Georgia, that's where Shaq live at, So my kids haven't really been in a hood like that. So of course they're not going to end up with nobody that's a hood. And usually, I hate to say it, there's a lot of black girls who want, like that hood type dude, or they want somebody that's like above their means, So, but that's a whole nother subject and that's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother YouTube video we can, put out. But anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my son, how he was and why I was worried about him being out like that. Another thing he was doing, he was nodding his head to the music. It was funny because I'm like, why you nodding your head to this music? And he like, oh, I'm just trying to make sure you fit in. Like, I don't want to look all odd. I'm like, that's good because that's what I told you. Like, I don't want him to, be looking odd and look like fish in there because you know how people are, If you look like, food, they're going to treat you like food, And that's exactly what happened later that night. So I'm in a car resting and I'm like, is y'all about ready to go or whatever? I'm not trying to rush them or whatever. And then I'm even asking them like, is it possible for me even to come back in? Because I'm like, I feel a little better, For some reason, I feel better just by sitting in the car, I guess whatever I had in me had digested a little bit. And I'm like, what's going on? I text him and then my son-in-law was like, man, this dude is acting funny. He keep on, grabbing on us and all that and grabbing my youngest son. I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on. Nah. And they're like, we coming to the car. So they come to the car and they tell me what's going on. Like, this dude is trying to strong arm us, grabbing us around our neck and stuff like that. I'm like, what? They was like, yeah, he talking some blood stuff, throwing up gang signs. And saying he got his blicky. I'm like, oh, hell no. So my adrenaline is like, okay, let's go. So I'm like, y'all point him out to me. So I'm walking to the car. I'm walking to the club. Get out the car, walk to the club. They fall on me. I'm like, y'all point him out when y'all see him. So the way they talking about him, I'm thinking he going to be some big dude like a Debo or something like. But I'm like, I don't care. You touching my son, I'm going to replace my son and you fight me if that's what you got a problem, If you're going to shoot somebody, shoot me, like, So when we walk in, they telling me, okay, this dude is an army dude or whatever. So I'm like, okay, this dude's, he might be well trained from the army, okay. But I'm still like, the way I've been raised, I wasn't raised fighting and stuff like that. I've been raised around my cousins and stuff like that. Before that, a lot of people used to come over my house and, you know, a lot of the dudes who was kind of rough, hung around me and always try to protect me. I don't know why, because I'm like, I don't need no protection. I ain't got no problem with nobody. But then as I grew up, started hanging around my cousins more, and they always, used to fight a lot. And not only other people, like in the neighborhood, they used to fight each other. So it's almost like we did tune-up fights. Like that's the things, they did. And when I start hanging around them, that's when I start getting in fights more, because dudes try to jump on them or whatever, or they get in fights after school, and then just trigger down to me getting into fights too. So I always learned to, watch my back and stand up for myself. And if you lose or win, just, you got to do what you got to do. That's the way I grew up. Like I said, later on in my years, because some people might have grew up with me. Oh, you wasn't like that when you was young. Yeah, when I was young, but you was there and you seen how stuff switched up. Sometimes the hood just gravitate and change you. I heard a lot of people say that, and that's what it do. It just kind of change you, but it didn't change me overall. It changed a lot of my life that I wish I could have started, like in this entrepreneuring stuff that I'm doing now earlier. But stuff happened, man. I'm just glad I'm here, because I know a lot of people got killed and all that. But anyways, like, even I heard Mike Tyson talking about him being nervous before a fight, and I couldn't believe it, because everybody talk stuff about like how Mike Tyson is. They scared of Mike Tyson, or they would be scared to fight him, or how strong he is, or he'll knock you out or whatever. But he said it like, I was nervous as heck when I was about to fight people. And that's how I be sometimes. Like a lot of times I'll be nervous, but it's weird, because I'll be like, I'm not even scared. Like really, I'm not scared of this dude to fight him. I'm just nervous though. I don't know why, because I guess you don't know what can happen in a fight. Like anything can happen. You can hit your head. You could die. You can die in a fight, People say, you live to fight another day, but sometimes, shoot, you might not. It's most likely you will live to fight another day. But anything still can happen. Like, this dude could pull out a gun. So I can understand why I'm nervous now that I'm older, really, before you get into the fight. But that don't mean you're going to lose or win or whatever. So I'm going in there. I'm ready, though. I'm ready to attack. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm smart enough not just to attack. I'm going to talk to him first, I'm just ready, though. I'm just ready for battle in case it get there. So we get in there and get back in the club. It was a long line on one side, but the other side, it was letting people back in who basically had the wristband. So I'm like, okay, this is easy to get back in. If I knew that, I would have went back in here. So we get in there. I'm going upstairs. I'm like, where's this dude at? Point him out. Y'all see him. They like, we don't see him. So then I see my one of my oldest son in there, and he like, I'm like, what's up with this dude touching my son? What's going on, man? Y'all letting him grab my son or whatever? And he like, nah. This dude is nobody, man. He over here or whatever. And then when I seen the dude, like, he's a short dude, like, I'm like, oh, this dude, like, man, he don't look, he ain't as swole as I thought he was gonna be. Because they did tell me when we was walking in there, like, he was short, dude. Because I'm like, what he looked like. First, I thought he was gonna be a big dude, and then they say he's short. But they did say he was in the army, so I'm like, okay, he gonna be one of them short, cocky dudes, probably real fit, So when I see him, I'm like, he's not that really swole. He got a little bit of muscle on him, a little bit, but not like that. Like, he probably ain't. He might be a little bit bigger than me, maybe not about the same size. But he was a young dude. Looked like he was in his younger 20s, maybe 25, 26. So he drunk though. He drunk. So him and my oldest son is kind of like holding each other by the neck, kind of like they trying to strong arm each other. I'm like, I'm not playing like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? My son basically just trying to show him like, look, you know, you want to try to grab me funny, I'm gonna grab you funny. But me, I'm like, you ain't no grabbing nothing. If you grab me, I'm gonna toss you. So I told him like, what's up with you, man? You touching my son, man? This is my son right here, my youngest son. You ain't finna be touching him and grabbing him, throwing up gang stuff, talking about Blicky and stuff. What's up with you, man? And he like, oh no, man, you good, man. Like he drunk. He ain't really saying like nothing that's making sense. And he just started throwing up his gang sign stuff again. I don't know what set he throwing up or whatever, but I guess he's throwing up some blood stuff, you know. And he like, yeah, basically like, I'm cool, man, whatever, you cool, whatever, something he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. Then he grabbed my son again right in front of my face. Now, first of all, I think I pushed him, and then everybody spread out. And I'm like, I'm getting ready, like, the very fight. Like, what's up? And then he kind of stand up, like, no, apologize and stuff and all that. And then he grabbing my son again by the neck. I don't know if he apologizing to my son or whatever, but he's still doing the strong arm stuff, like grabbing his neck. I grab him off my son and throw him again. Like, man, if you don't bag up, what's wrong with you? Like, you know, I'm looking around. He ain't got nobody running up, you know, no backup. But I'm ready, you know what I'm saying? And then this girl, she runs up and grab him. I'm like, is this your man, your brother, your dude or whatever? She like, nah. But I'm like, well, he with you, obviously. You need to get him because he finna get touched on if he keep it up. I'm not trying to really, you know, crash out on this black brother. But at the same time, you ain't finna crash out on my son. You understand? So it ain't finna happen like that. So after that, I'm like, let's get out of here. Because I see he wasn't really worth it. He wasn't no tough guy. He was just drunk. These guys be so drunk, man, going to the club. Like, I don't drink like that. So I never be like, that's why I don't drink like that. Because I don't like being like that. So we get out and go to home, go to the car, whatever, and go outside, you know. Leave, you know, but, you know, nobody got hurt. So it was a good night overall, you know. But that was a night, you know. In Savannah, Georgia, just had to put my hands on the drunk, man. And if you ever hear this or whatever, I apologize, you know. They said he even got my son's number. My son got his number. I don't know why he got his number, but... You know, I guess this was before we got into it or whatever. But, you know, I ain't got no problems with dude. But like I said, just you ain't finna bully my son, man. Like, and it wasn't even about you just grabbing him. You talking about gang stuff and you talking about a blicky or whatever. Man, get out of here. Like, it's not going to happen like that. But all right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all listening to me. Like, subscribe. I'll be putting my Cash App on here soon because you got to make that bread, you know, make it happen as best as you can. I'm going to be investing and making a lot more videos for you guys. And this is the first one I'm commentating on. So I want to just start bringing a lot of content for you guys. And it's going to cost. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of feedback and some help a little bit every now and then just to keep it going, you know. But I appreciate y'all listening, y'all. All right.